The state's got a problem on its hands. How to store paper documents it can't, by law, destroy. One state agency spent a lot of money on a plan to get rid of a good chunk of its paperwork. So how did it end up with more than before? News 13's Kim Holland explains the paperwork pileup on tonight's special assignment.
Okay, you ready? This is the State Record Center.
In a high-tech age, New Mexico has an old-school problem. It's drowning in paper. The state's Record Center and Archives in Santa Fe stores tens of thousands of paper and microfilm files for state agencies. New Mexico law says paper documents have to be kept for a certain amount of time, depending on the kind of file, before they can be destroyed.
At least 95% of the records produced by the state are finite, that they will be destroyed at some point.
This record center, stacked to the brim. The archives vault, full.
There is a lot of paperwork.
Now, some of the documents here
I don't know if you have my original application paperwork involved.
are generated as a result of the state law that allows residents to carry concealed weapons. So far this year, the Department of Public Safety has issued more than 6,600 new and renewed concealed weapon licenses. And that generates a ton of paperwork that must be kept for 3 years after the approved license expires. And all that paperwork takes up a lot of space. So in 2010, DPS came up with a plan to try to free up all that space. The agency spent $30,000 on 4 scanners that digitized the paperwork. Then it spent more money on 4 contract employees last year and 2 this year to help full-time staff process concealed weapon documents that had been piling up since the law went into effect January 2004.
High-end scanners that were compatible with our database and that were of a quality that produced electronic copies of such quality that hopefully, would be approved by State Records and Archives at some point.
But that's the problem. The State Archive must approve any plan involving record keeping, and DPS didn't run their plan by archive officials first.
There's a plan that needs to come through, and we haven't received that plan yet. We've been waiting on it.
So until archive officials approve the plan, SID must hold on to all the paperwork it wants to get rid of. The boxes take up space as they pile up at the Albuquerque office before they're hauled to Santa Fe to be stored in 3 of these large 5 metal containers. DPS paid $22,000 for them to hold all the paperwork. The containers sit behind the DPS building under lock and key.
This was the best method that we knew of to keep those records secure and have them on the property at headquarters, without overtaking all of the space at headquarters.
Sergeant Suzanne Skasik says DPS has been working with the state to come up with a digital plan and is confident it will be approved before the end of the year. The agency is now looking at going paperless to avoid this backlog in the future. It's also studying other states to see how they have concealed carry applicants fill out paperwork online. On special assignment, Kim Holland, KRQE News 13.